So let's talk little Seahawks. They played on Monday Night Football. They won 31-26 against the Bills. 31 points is a pretty good number. That'll get the job done most of the time, especially with the Seattle Seahawks defense. Lacey, I'm going to ask you, what's the key to this Seahawk offense?
Well, in almost every win the Hawks have had this season, Jimmy Graham has had over 90 yards receiving, and in 3 of their 5 wins, he has had over 100 yards receiving. The games the Hawks have lost, Jimmy Graham has had less than 55 receiving yards. This guy is just a raw athlete and is key to the Hawks' success, and the offense is looking good when Russell Wilson is throwing the ball to Jimmy Graham. I think he's the key to this offense.
I think that's
Isn't he also your screensaver?
Oh, yeah. He's also a very good-looking man.
Okay.
Wow. I respect it. Guys, the key to this offense, again, is a very simple answer, but it starts with the quarterback, and it's number 3, Russell Wilson. What I loved about Russell in this football game is he looked extremely healthy. You saw him run a couple times. You saw him escape the pocket. He just looked way more calm back there, poised, and threw some darts. And again, this is what we were missing these last couple of weeks because he didn't quite trust his leg. And it's a tough deal. We did not run the football very well on Monday night. And we put a lot of trust in our offense in number 3's arm. And again, he produced. Like Lacey said, obviously Jimmy played a great game. Dougie B played extremely well. But again, it always starts with the quarterback. And Russell is finally beginning to be healthy. And again, when Russell's healthy, in my opinion, Drew, you can argue this, but I think he's a top 7 quarterback in this football league. And I know top 7 is because I'm number 7.
Kellen, I want to ask you about the play late in the first half. Richard Sherman got called for an offside penalty when the Buffalo Bills tried a field goal. On that play, Sherman absolutely blasted the Bills kicker, Dan Carpenter. There's pictures that show that he touched the football, but still it just looked like Sherman was out to get that kicker. What were your thoughts about that whole situation?
Well, I was livid when I saw that play because for me, I'm not even a Bills fan or a Carpenter, fan, but I thought it was his knee. And so I'm like, are you kidding me, Sherman? That is so dirty. You're way better than that. But again, that's what you got to love about social media. Richard Sherman finds a picture from whatever photographer, posted on Twitter, and you see his hand is literally on the ball. It's pretty impressive. It's almost like he's holding the ball for him to kick it. It was really cool to see that because I was so mad at Richard after that play. Even with the kind of the slow-mo replays, I still thought it was a dirty play. But then you see Sherman's hand was on the ball. I'm not quite sure what was going through his mind because it's not even close when it comes to offsides. He's about 1.5 yards before the ball's even snapped. But I just feel bad for the Bills. That whole 30 seconds was a tough deal for Rex Ryan because that should have been 3 points on the board. He misses the field goal. They call a timeout. That's part of the game. It's icing. But then he misses it. The delay of game I thought wasn't quite fair. The ref was standing over the ball, hovering, and then they have about 8 seconds to snap it. I don't think it was very good officiating by the referees in that last minute. But again, they're human. I definitely couldn't do a good a job as they do, so I'm not going to be all over them. Mm-hmm. But again, they make that field goal there. They can kick a field goal to tie the football game up. It's one of those things where you can always revert back to a play that could have changed the football game. But I'm glad that I saw that picture because it makes me not as mad as I was at Richard Sherman.
That's fair. Drew, I want to ask you, are officials that bad? Because to me, the Sherman play was awkward in the sense that there isn't another play that you can kind of point at and go, whoa, that looked like the time that so-and-so did that. It was unique. I'd never had really seen anything like that. So my question, like I said, are officials that bad?
See, the call was that bad. Officials aren't. And I just don't think some people understand how hard an official's job is and how hard it is to officiate the world's best athletes. Guys like Richard Sherman, guys like Cam Newton.
Guys that are running 4.3.
Guys like LeBron James.
Yeah.
All these guys are just supreme athletes and are possibly the best athlete at their position. They're going to do things that nobody, as we both point out, has ever seen before. No one has seen corners do what Richard Sherman does. No one has seen quarterbacks do what Cam Newton does. No one has seen a power forward / small forward / shooting guard / point guard / center do what LeBron James has done. That's hard to officiate. I don't think you understand. You're asking people to make calls on games moving faster than some people, fast forward through TiVo commercials. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy. And I think that when something happens that you have never seen before, you got to give the officials a break and give them some time to sort it out as well. Now, did Richard Sherman get ball first? Yes. In that case, was it a penalty? No. The call was that bad. The officials aren't.
That's fair.
You're asking a lot of humans.
Yeah, that's totally fair.
Christian, being an umpire as well.
Yeah, it is. It's tough. It's tough to decide what something was when you have never seen it before. Is ultimately what I was kind of getting at there.
And I was listening to sports radio the other day. Bill Belichick has been wanting this so badly. Every year he kind of vouches for this. He wants every play to be able to be reviewable. But
that's too much.
think about how long that game would last
way
if that's
too much.
what would happen.